Um, when I tell you the peace of God met me in that room, it was something about how he came in, how he dealt with me, how he answered my questions. It was something about him. And I had prayed for Christian specialists, people who were believers. And this Dr. M was amazing to me. He said, okay. He said, I'm going to send in my nurse to get you scheduled. He said, I'm going to do one more pre-op before the surgery. He said, and then I'll see you the day of. I said, okay. He said, any questions? Took his time with me. Just a perfect little doctor. Oh, and I asked him, I said, have you done a lot of these? And he said, I've done thousands. He said, I did 3 yesterday. I said, okay, maybe feel better that you're not new to this. You're true to this. So I promise you that thing helped me. So the nurse came in and she said, well, let's get you scheduled. And she said, how about January 14th, 2020? I was like, oh, that's so soon. And she's like, well, you've been through all the pre-things. It's time to get it done. And I said, let's do the next week. And she said, I think you should do this date. And I said, ugh. And I got teary-eyed because a date was being written down. Like, that made it real. So I said, okay, we'll do the 14th. And so she said, you're in double good hands. And I tilted my head like, what? And she pointed to my cross because I had my cross on. She said, those hands, she said, and the doctor's hands. He's a Christian man. I said, oh, that helped tremendously. It's one thing to have a good doctor, but to have a good believing doctor, that just spoke to my little heart. So, although I was in tears, that did help me. So, I really felt good after this appointment. I know that sounds strange, but the peace of God, which I had prayed for, was coming. So, I left, and that day, I started telling people because I had peace. I didn't have complete peace all from December 5th to December, what day was it with him? To the 18th. All this time, I was processing it. I was talking to God. I was getting revelation. I was getting understanding. I was building up the peace. But God met me after meeting with that surgeon, and I had such a peace. Didn't mean I wasn't scared no more. Alexis ain't never had no surgery. So there still was some nervousness, but there was a peace that surpasses all understanding. So the next day, though, the surgeon's office called me and said, we've got too many scheduled for the 14th. We want to put you on the 21st. I was like, yes. So now my surgery date was January 21st, 2020. So I finally began telling people, but I told people in an organic way, meaning I did not call you out the blue if I hadn't talked to you in a while and say, hey, how you doing? Guess what? I've got thyroid cancer. I did not do that. If we were having a telephone conversation, by the end of it, I would let you know. If we had already planned to do dinner or lunch, by the end of it, I would let you know. Certain coworkers, when the time was right, I just let people know. And I had such a peace about it. And if I didn't have a peace about telling you, I didn't tell you. And nothing against the person. I just, this is a fight, and it was a journey. And to tell anyone was huge for me because I'm a very private person in some regards. Hence the fact it's August and this happened in January, and I'm just really sharing it. But God even taught me in this, you don't have to be alone if you don't want to be. But that's a whole other episode. But anyway, so I organically started telling people. And majority of the people I told teared up, got emotional. Some cried. Some just were like hurt on my behalf. But I didn't cry not once. One, because I got all my tears out, I think, on that first night. But two, no, I had some more tears too. But two, I had had time to process it and deal with it. And God had given me a peace about it. And several of my friends, when I told them, one in particular said, "You just seem to have a peace about this. Are you're not scared? You okay?" I said, "Actually, I do have peace, God-given peace, and I didn't have that at the beginning. That's why I couldn't talk about it with everybody. I would have been a mess trying to talk about it and explain it to folks. So I couldn't tell people at first. I had to talk to God about it. So I was at a place now where I could talk about it, where I could tell people and not break down about it. And my faith had been built up. This is big too. My faith needed to be built up because I didn't know the words that were going to come out of certain people's mouths. When you say cancer, a lot of people automatically think the worst. But God built me up so I don't care what you thought, I believed God for healing. I believed God that I would live and not die to declare the works of the Lord. I had to build myself up in my most holy faith before I even mentioned it to anybody. And that's exactly what I did. And I felt fine with that. So take that as a side note, whatever you're going through. You don't have to tell everybody. And when you choose to tell them, it's on you. The one person you do need to tell is God. Tell him all about it. Every piece, every part. Tell him all about it. So yeah, I started telling people. I began to feel different. I began to see things different. I began to believe different. I began to trust different. It really hit me that God heals in different ways. Some people it's an instant healing. Some people in the Bible they were healed as they went. Some people never got a healing. They got grace for the journey. So all these things I was being taught, I was being encouraged, I was being built up in the faith between me and God. And so God gave me 2 assignments in this as well. One was to fast, to do the Daniel fast for 21 days, which was perfect because when they called and told me the date was the 21st, I was like, I'm going to be healed on the last day of my fast. That's where my faith was. I'm going to be healed on the last day of my fast. And I'm going to be healed on this side of heaven. And then he told me to have prayer calls the 3 Saturdays before the surgery. And I believe he showed me who to put on the prayer call. And it amazed me because some of my super duper prayer warriors I didn't feel led to do it. I didn't know it at the moment, but I think the whole prayer call was a faith growing opportunity for me and the ladies. By the end of it, folks were praying and with power and with authority and with belief. And that blessed my heart to see. One, that people would even call in, whether they prayed or not. The fact that you would agree with others on my behalf in prayer blessed me. But also the fact that you grew in your faith to maybe you weren't comfortable on the first call, but by the 3rd call, you were praying. So that blessed my heart tremendously. And those were my assignments from God Fast, Daniel Fast, for 21 days. Get your healing on the last day of the fast. And then the 3 prayer calls leading up to the surgery. So, trying to see where I am now with my notes. I told y'all I had 17 pages worth of notes, so don't talk about me. I believed that God told me this sickness was not unto death, and I held on to that. I held on to the fact that God showed me the nodules on my thyroid. I wasn't even doing a test for the thyroid. I was doing a test on the heart, but you showed it to me. And then the fact that first night you told me you would never leave me nor forsake me. And you have been true to your word every day, every way. I saw myself healed. I saw myself in the in my room in the hospital after the surgery, fine. I saw everything on the other side, and it was good. I saw that God saved my life. and I decided I'm gonna truly live. You hear me? So, one more thing too, my endocrinologist had me go and do another ultrasound. And this one was to test my lymph nodes to see if cancer was in the lymph nodes. And I remember going into the building and I heard the scripture, many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him from them all. Again, God was speaking to me every day in every way. Basically saying, I didn't say you wouldn't have afflictions. I didn't say you wouldn't have trials and tribulations, but I did say I would deliver you from them all. And that blessed me. And a day later found out the results that there was no cancer in the lymph nodes, which was a blessing. Praise Jesus. So all went well. All went well. So now we are on the 24th. And I had the cardio appointment. He was a great, cool doctor. This is my first time talking to him. He did some detailed tests. He said, oh, you're great. You're fine. I okay the surgery. The endocrinologist worked with me because remember her schedule was booked to February. So she opened up a slot at 7:45 in the morning so she could meet with me and go over everything. She prescribed the medicine that I would need after the surgery, which I love. So I was ahead of time and I would have it ready and waiting. And just in case you don't know, I didn't know, you can live without a thyroid, but you have to take a pill for life, according to them. God still heals in mysterious ways. So one day he could say, don't take the pill no more. And I'd be like, okay, God. So, but right now I feel led to do the pill. But anyway, so she was on it. She was ahead of schedule. She was great to me and took the time. Every time she called with a test result, it was her. It wasn't a nurse. It was the doctor. And I so appreciated that. So he had given me a great endocrinologist. He had given me a great surgeon. He had given me a great primary care physician. All was going good. So then I went to do on the 15th, January 15th, the pre-op with the surgeon, Dr. M. And so he came in and he said, you ready? And I said, I'm there. I'm getting there. I said, I just want to personally thank you because at our last appointment, you really helped put me at ease and calm me down. And he said, you have to have confidence. And I said, indeed I do. I don't know if you remember, but I did a video that day talking about confidence. So back in January, I did a whole little video talking about confidence in God and confidence in the people he has put in your life to help you on your life's journey. That's where that stemmed from. You all did not know I was fighting a cancer journey. You didn't know what I was going through. But that confidence video resonated with a lot of people, including myself. So I know that God allows us to go through things, and it's not just for us, it's for others. So I'm so glad the doctor helped me with the confidence piece, but then I was able to turn it around and give it to you all as well. So he really helped boost my confidence in God and myself, in him. Like I prayed, God, give me the best doctors, and I believe he did. He came through big time. So yeah, so we finished our pre-op, and if you get a chance or if you're ever bored, Google the thyroid. I had to stop looking at information because it's too much out there. One thing, I had to stop watching medical shows. I love medical shows. I love anything with a doctor, like Grey's Anatomy, the one with the special doctor, the one that's filmed here in Atlanta. I love medical shows. Your girl could not watch not anymore. I said, no, I'm going to have to wait till after surgery. I don't need to see nothing regarding hospitals. So I stopped watching my surgery shows. I stopped Googling because everybody's story was different. A lot of people had experienced thyroid cancer. A lot of people have had good experiences and bad experiences. Some people are still miserable with their results. Some people are doing mighty fine and wonderfully well. It just was too much. I heard horror stories of some people who did wait and decided, I don't want surgery. And then they waited and it grew and it got wrapped around. The cancer went into vocal cord stuff. It just was too much. I was like, I can't, I can't do this. And I wanted to see the surgery on YouTube before I had it. And I was like, don't do that to yourself. Don't do it. But the thing was, I had a piece about God healing me of cancer. And I was getting a piece about surgery because I did not like the idea of going under. But there was another piece to this. And I saw it finally as an attack of the enemy on my voice. That's why I say, if you have time, Google the thyroid. It sits on the vocal cord. Y'all, I sing. I have sung all my life. I talk. Conversations with Alexis is a talking podcast. My voice is very important, and the enemy had already tried several ways over many years to attack my voice. Even in fear and confidence, he had tried to attack my voice. But this I saw as an all-out assault on my voice, which made me wonder, what in the world is God going to have me say that the enemy is so hard after my voice? I saw it for what it was, an attack. So it made me pray all the more, because even in my reading and Googling, I found out some people had to learn how to talk again. Some people lost their voice. Some people did not have full capability with their voice because the thyroid basically sits on the vocal cord. It's a very precise surgery to slice around and get the thyroid and leave your vocal cords intact. That was a whole other piece that I hadn't even thought about. I was like, Lord, have mercy. This is a lot. This is a lot. So, my prayers were covering all of that. It was heal me, but it was heal me and keep my voice intact, God. I got stuff to say for you. I got stuff to sing for you. So that was huge. But I trusted God. Again, you showed me this for a reason. You told me you'd never leave me nor forsake me. You told me many are the afflictions of the righteous, but you deliver them from them all. You told me you will perfect those things which concern me. Whatever fight you're in, yours might not be against cancer. Yours might be against whatever else, but find you some word to stand on, to rely on, to build your most holy faith. Okay? So, let us see. So I went and I did all of the pre-op things for the hospital. And this was a blessing too. Every person I checked in with, did blood work with, they saw my surgeon and they said, he is phenomenal. He is awesome. He did my sister. He operated on such and such. They just could not sing his praises enough, which all the more just built up that confidence and that hope and that faith in God. That confidence piece is really big, because I'll have confidence in God, have confidence in who he's sending to help you. Meaning those doctors, I asked you for saved, believing, phenomenal Christians, and you sent them, but I have to have confidence in the people you sent. Okay? So all of this, my eyes were open. I was just listening to it all. So, January 21st, I head to the hospital. And y'all, the loner was surrounded by love. You hear me? This blessed my heart. My friend Tish was there before I was even there. Shonda and Yesha came before they went to work. Lakeisha, the prayer warrior, came. Kim McCurl, a lady I had worked with who has retired, came. People called and sent texts. It just, everybody was seeing about me the morning of the surgery, and it blessed my heart. The loaner was not alone, and the loaner was surrounded by love, and that just blessed me tremendously and let me know when the time is right, let people in. People with good hearts want to help, they want to bless you, they want to encourage you, they want to pray for you, um, and let them in when the time is right. And I'm so glad I did, because I was surrounded by love. The loner was not alone. And of course, my daddy was there. So I go to the back and I get situated. And okay, this is probably when it's too much information. But you get completely naked under there. I thought you would at least keep your underclothes on, but you don't. So you're completely naked under this gown. Hair is in a little bonnet thing. And you're just sitting, waiting to get started. And so my dad came back and Kamla came back. And Kamla said, well, I want to take a picture. And I was like, okay, picture. And I let her take the picture. She sent it to me. Her and my dad prayed for me back in the back room. And the anesthesiologist came in. Again, y'all, I'm telling you all the details. I hope y'all still rocking with me and listening. So she was a sweet little young girl. I was like, Lord, I hope she knows what she's doing. So she's just walked me through what they were going to be doing. And I said, okay. I said, I don't know if you saw in my paperwork, I don't want the tube. I just want you to put the little mask over my mouth. And that's all. And she said, ma'am, I'm going to have to use the tube. I said, no. I saw that you could have options. And I don't want the tube. I don't want the thing down my throat. I just want you to put the mask on. She said, well, let me tell you why you need the tube. Because it's going in your throat and your esophagus, and we don't want it to collapse. The tube helps that. I was like, oh. She said, and also the tube has sensors on it. So if they get too close to the vocal cord, the sensors go off. I said, give me the tube. I want the tube. So that settled that right quick. But she was kind and gracious. So yeah, they rolled me back. And so then maybe y'all have had surgeries before, and I'm new to this. So roll me back, and then they said, we need you to get over on the other table. And in my mind, I'm like, just put me on the right table when you roll me back. So then I had to naked switch over to the other table. And once I switched over to the table, they came like little aliens with your arms, with your legs, just doing different stuff. And I was like, this is a lot. And so Dr. M said, Alexis, you doing okay? I said, yes. He said, well, I'm going to see you in a little while. I said, okay. And so the little anesthesiologist put the little mask over me. I think I blinked twice, and your girl was out.